Can anybody hear me, and is everything clear? Also, is there a delay? I need to know. I'm trying to figure something out. Oh, okay, good. So, hello everybody, and welcome to this stream. How you guys doing? Hey, Ricardo. Hey, hey, Diane, Dayon, Shrek's little helper. Man, it's hot. It's humid. Hey, distracted. How are you? Wait, is that distracted or detracted? Sorry. How is everybody doing anyway? Well, that's good. Is everybody feeling the heat wave? Because it's freaking hot in New York. Prince Vasigo? No, I have not worked with him, but I've been thinking of him. So I might work with him. I don't just work with somebody. I have to have a reason. Even if the reason is, hello, how are you? That would be a reason for me. In this heat, who the hell wants to work? My part-time job is working at a health food store sometimes, and at least I work in the refrigerator, so that helps. Yes, I believe so. Detracted. Vpar. I've never worked with him though. There's 72 spirits in the Goetia. I can't remember actually every spirit's form or how it's described. Well, there's a lot of popular spirits. I mean, King Paimon's super popular for some reason. I've worked with him maybe twice, but he's very popular. A lot of people like him. But, that's the thing with Goetic spirits. When you ask them to do something to help, sometimes they could tell you, yeah, we do it, and they don't do it. Then I think to myself, did they not want to help me? Did they lie to me? Or they can't do it, but they act like they can. That does happen. You just have to be aware of it. Well, Shriek Little Helper, I would suggest practicing with astral, your astral body. The thing I my methods are mostly astral travel and then dealing with goetic spirits. But if you want my advice, I would try to find a spirit that you become friends with, that you feel close to, or you want to contact. Um, Sometimes the spirit might give you signs that it wants to talk to you. Some people say no, it's a dangerous spirit, but it's dangerous for them. It's not dangerous for you. I've heard lots of success with some radio silence from others. I heard it's because of my star sign. Detracted, that could be. When it comes to magic, I wouldn't be surprised. It it could be because of the star sign. Don't know too much about it, but when it comes to magic, I would not be surprised. There is not one certain way of doing it. And different things happen for different reasons. And I do believe that spirits have their favorites. Hmm. Excuse me for 1 minute. Excuse me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Yeah, it seems what's it called? My neighbor's light went out. I have the light fuses down here. Somebody turned on the freaking microwave and blew out the light. I was like, who the hell is knocking? I freaking hit my elbow at the door. Let me hold on, guys. I gotta read up because I need to like zone in. Oh, that's cool, Diane. You actually purchased the kyanite. Cool. Hey, I'm glad it's working. It worked for me, man. Hey, Con, how are you? Excuse me, my nose itched. I remember Gap. It takes time, Detracted. If you already had some great experiences, it takes time. Look, before the kyanite, kyanite or canine? Anyway, tomato, tomato. Um, it takes time because it took me about a week of just constant working with the stone to actually start seeing something. So don't if something's blocking you, eventually you'll figure it out or it will just dissipate. Shriek's Little Helper, I don't fully astral project. I astral project fully very, very rarely. I usually do a partial projection. It feels like my consciousness shrinks, goes into my stomach, and feels like part of my body's out. That way, it feels like I could control both my body and where I'm going. That's just, I do believe that might have something to do of me being a Cancer and a water sign. I do not know. But, if I don't know something, I will say that I do not know. I am not one of those magicians who knows everything or acts like they know everything. And then when somebody comes to them and, asks them something and they say they know, and then tells them, yeah, that's not right. So I will admit, if I don't know something, I will say it. You can't know everything. Detracted, yeah, there's a lot of those on YouTube. There's a lot of those on YouTube. I only know a couple, and I think Yale Quenning's the biggest one that I've seen on YouTube. He has his methods and all this stuff, but I can't watch his videos very long. Not really. But that's just everybody has their thing. Gab, I will look into it as astral travel because now I'm very interested since there's always a lot to learn during astral travel, and I'm a big, big fanatic about it. Well, welcome, Khan. Lucid dreaming and astral travel is very similar. It's just you still fall into a dream state when you're trying to astral project. You're just trying to do it. You're trying to consciously do it. You don't want to do an OBE or an out of body experience. I believe happens more when you just pop out and you didn't really want it to happen. Excuse me. The thing with EO co-wedding, I heard a story. Just a dear friend told me that they bought the circle, and somebody was possessed or something, and then they wrote back to him, and he said, that's good. I don't know. That's a story I've heard. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch him too much. I started watching him it was years ago. Then I just stopped. Um, I'm really into grounding magic. The thing that could happen when you do a lot of magic or become very, very isolated while doing magic is that you don't ground yourself, and it could really pull you away pretty far. So you want to make sure that you try to ground yourself and try to balance. I know that word is used a lot, but try to balance being here in Malkuth and also doing your path. Because there are times when doing magic and not grounding yourself could really pull you away from reality. Shredda, welcome. Yes, dance is wonderful. I'm not a dancer, um, but I've seen so many beautiful things through dance that people fall into trances. I will say during certain rituals that I did with Kali, I did use drums and I did do some sort of dance that I thought she would like, even though she probably laughed her ass off. My favorite Goetic spirit to work with is I don't really consider Lilith a Goetic spirit. I don't even know how the heck Lilith got her own sigil in the Goetia or modern Goetia. But anyway, my favorite Goetic spirit to work with, I like working with Baal. I enjoyed, even though a couple of times when I first met him, he was very he lied. He fibbed. I wouldn't say even lied. He fibbed a lot. He likes to do that. Um, but then the more I knew him, the more he stopped fibbing. And the last work that I did with the Goetic spirit, which I'm trying to look up. Hold on, I gotta remember his name. He's very new to me. So I got to find him. Hold on, I'm not on the chat page, so if everybody's writing something, I will look at it in a second. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Whoa. Wait, why 50? No, it's Andromalius. Andromalius. I've been working with him. I did it twice. I really enjoy him. He is very polite, very nice, and loves company. So if anybody never worked with Andromalius, just to talk to him is very fascinating. I really enjoy him. He's very nice. He's the 72nd spirit. Khan, I don't know if it's, yeah, well, you could consider it kind of a, when you're working with the spirit, it depends what kind of form. If you're actually working with a mirror and contacting the spirit, it would be divination. If you are contacting, um, if you are contacting it in during evocation or invocation, I never looked at it as divination. Um, duh, 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 duh. Well, from what divination is, it's the practice of seeking knowledge for the future of the unknown or supernatural means. So, yes, when you are dealing with a spirit by invoking or evoking, I do not consider that divination. That's cool, Khan. I just got that. Chicken Kabbalah is a great book, and I love Milo's books. I haven't read everything, but I really do like Milo Duquette. Never heard of Godric's Kabbalistic Encyclopedia. I have some sort of encyclopedia, but I don't really look at it. It's a good book, Shredda. I worked with Modern Magic. It's just a workbook that gives you from A to B. Sadly, Donald Craig passed. But I consider it a good book because he brings down things very simple and doesn't overcomplicate. There's a lot of magic that tries to be something it's not. They overcomplicate things like you're doing some sort of freaking rocket science. You know, just to make themselves look smart. I've noticed that. Instead of just doing the practical work. And I'm all for practical work. Sometimes you even read it and you think mumbo jumbo, but I just wanted to say mumbo jumbo. That I might look. If it's very practical, I might look into it. Man, I still have a lot of books in the library that I've never read. That I have. Gordon Winterfield. Okay. I like getting to the point. You know. I have a question, and this this is not a stab at anybody or anything. I just wonder. Now, it makes me think, and I'm a very grounded thinker. Now, the idea of a channel, but people say become a living God. The idea of becoming a living God. I just thought about. Don't you have to? There has to be people that actually pray to you to become a God. Do you know what I mean? Like the energy that builds around that. It makes me wonder. No, it just made me just think. It's not specifically. It's just calling it become a living God. I don't know if you literally can. Well, I was stretched. I was thinking of making a book. Yes, eventually. Detracted. This realm is very boring. I agree. I don't like to look at it as living gods because think about it. We're human, okay? We are human. In theory, or if it exists, angels, I mean, fallen angels came to us to, tell us about knowledge, if you believe in that. I would like to believe in that, but I don't know, there's no scientific proof, but I would like to believe in that. But I do look at science. Um, I would like to see if magic to go down a path and become more of a human. That makes more sense to me than becoming a living god, because people worship gods, people don't worship humans. So that's how I look at it. Well, that makes sense, Ricardo. I'm not saying it's just it makes me. It just that makes sense if you want to take more control over your life. That would make a lot of sense if looking at it that way. But I literally thought just about it. That's all. I don't know much about Freemasonry. No, I've never found. I never really looked into it because I didn't really want to know about it. Honestly, I know a lot of people do, but I really didn't care for it. I always cared about the clip off Goetia, astral projection, and learning how to do practical magic through dimensions and spheres, and trying to understand how to actually get the HGA, the Holy Guardian Angel, and the Diamond and combine them into one. That's how I look at my methods are. So worshipful masters, interesting. Well, I was in a Golden Dawn a bit. I left. I was also in a group here in New York in Thelema, not the OTO, another group of Thelema, but they did not allow working with the clip-off. So I felt a urge that I needed to work with the clip-off, so I left. I was the main purpose. And the main why I left. Okay, detracted. That's a very good question, and it's absolutely a magic fails, and I've had magic fail on me, and I'm still working on that to try to understand why it fails. If you put out something that you are doing, a spell, something to work to your advantage, or something that you need help with, you can't doubt that. You can't doubt it at all because it is kind of a leap of faith. Once you start doubting it, you might mess up the work. There's a story, I don't know how true it is, by Aleister Crowley that he was behind on his rent and he did a spell to get his rent money for the month. So he actually went out and bought ice cream after the spell because he knew 100% that the rent money's going to come. That's how much he believed that his magic will work. I do think that sometimes magic fails because we might question, is it going to work or not? It's normal to question because, you're also grounded. You want to make sure that you're not, in total fantasy mode. But you also want to believe that it will actually work and you know that you won't have any doubts of it, if that makes any sense. Roust, it's all cool. It's just hot. How you doing? Well, with cursing, hey, I am the first to admit that sometimes I might get a bit upset and think of curses. It's absolutely normal. What's the difference of thinking of doing a curse or hitting somebody? I don't feel that there's a difference, to be honest with you. You're still using some sort of force. But I do wait a while before I have, if emotions are going wild, I still wait a while to see if I still feel the same way. Um, so it takes time for me to do something. I have to be sure that I want to do it 100%. It does depend on the magician's goals, Shredder. Do I have an opinion of no fab in relationship? Spirit Neon, I don't know much about that. I will admit that I don't. What is no fab? Hmm. Sexual transmutation. Okay, that makes more sense. Then never heard of no fap. Semen retention, sexual transmutation. Okay, that makes more sense, but no fap I've never heard of. Now, when you mean semen, do you mean using semen? No, great, now it's turned into sex magic. Anyway, um, do you mean using semen as a force toward doing magical work, or you know, kundalini? Well, I've worked enough with the kundalini just to work with the clip off. I did not work too much with it, but I do need to, though. I need to go more into kundalini work. Um, I also noticed that it's used a lot in New Age terms. Oh, distracted. Oh, okay. I've done blood magic before, and the only reason I did it is because I have a very close relationship with Lilith. When I did prick my finger and put it on a sigil, Lilith said, "What the hell are you doing? You don't have to do that." So it probably depends on the relationship you have with the spirit. Shredder, there could be a lot of misinformation in a lot of books. There could be a lot of misinformation in modern magic too. I'm not. When you're reading a book, you try to take what works for you and leave out everything else, because in the end, it's a path that you walk alone, and it's a thing that you have to learn on your own. What you're reading is the person's experiences, their methods of magic, and how it could drive you or give you some sort of inspiration to go down your path, and then later eventually change what you need to change. The track that I don't know, I didn't work with blood magic enough. The only reason I wanted to do blood magic is I wanted to actually, since I had a relationship with Lilith, I wanted to do something a little bit different to see if it was more powerful in invocation. Yes, I mean, blood magic has to be pretty strong. I mean, you're using your own blood. um, but I would not do blood magic unless you have a really good relationship with the spirit, man. Do not use blood magic if you just want to call something. Thank you for sharing, Detracted. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of people want to dull the senses of the community. I also been thinking at points that I don't think magic is for everyone. Not in this lifetime, anyway. In school, I go and read about mythologies of the Greek, Pan, Zeus, Hades, and thought to myself, well, everybody believes in Yahweh, yet on the wall I see a picture of a monkey, and then now you're telling me that these Greek gods are mythology. Very confusing when you're a kid. Detracted, it's fine experimenting. Just make sure, and my advice to you is that you want to have a good relationship with the spirit before you're doing any blood magic with them. It's the same thing as, you're trusting someone with your blood. I mean, that's how I look at it. Detracted, this is a very interesting question about Yahweh. Now, and I might be wrong, but I don't have anything against Yahweh at all. If it created, I don't want to say he because we all practically don't know what it is. I don't think it's a he or a she. It has to be beyond. Gods have to be beyond us. So, Yahweh is something that to me in the Bible supposedly he's selfish. Yes. Don't talk to any other gods. Don't do this or I'll punish you. Don't do that or I'll punish you. One of my mentors in magic told me that there's two gods in the Bible. There's Baal, which is the thunder god, and there's also Yahweh. And in the Old Testament, supposedly it's not Yahweh saying that, but it's Baal saying that. So I would like to think that I think that's fascinating. Do I know it's true? I don't know. But every spirit has. I don't believe every spirit is perfect. When it comes to Yahweh, they say God is perfect. It's perfect. I don't know if God is perfect. Because there is a theory that the clip-off is a mistake. And it was created before the Tree of Life, or it was trying to create the Tree of Life, and that's what happened. There's also an idea that Gabora cracked and clip-off came out of that. So do I believe the Yahweh is perfect? No. I mean, are humans perfect? If we are actually created from that image, we're not perfect. Or we have an idea of what perfect is, but it really doesn't exist. It's a question that will keep coming. I don't have anything against Yahweh. I've worked with Yahweh before. And maybe that's my Jewish side, is because I'm interested. I work mostly with Goetic spirits and demons, sometimes angels, but very, very rarely. I do believe that there has to be a balance between working with the Tree of Life and the Clipoth. I don't think you could work with one because I do think a lot of imbalances will come. But that's just my opinion. Ricardo, that's what I think. I think Baal was the first actual Old Testament true God of the Jewish people. I think then my teacher told me in Kings, Yahweh came in, and then this whole mess started. But I'm not a scholar, so I believe that EA is smart. I've never spoken to him. I don't know. I mean, he dives in everything. I like just to work in. I like to be good at one or two things, but that's just me. I worked with Moloch. Moloch is very, very interesting. Moloch is the marketplace. Moloch is gold, pure gold. And what I mean by this is that every time I dreamt about Moloch, all I saw are women and gold, which was very interesting. The thing with Moloch is I've astral projected into his sphere, and what I saw was a statue that spoke to me, and it was Moloch. I asked him about children's sacrifice. The thing when you're talking to these spirits, you have to know that sometimes you really have to learn how to listen to your gut, and you really have to learn how to listen to your intuition and try to pay attention, because your brain starts getting involved, and you start asking yourself, did it ask me? I mean, did it tell me the answer, or is it me making up the answer? That's the thing. You have to be careful as a magician. I am the first to say that when it comes to Moloch, I asked him about children's sacrifice. He says I did not ask them. They offered it to me. So I don't know what he meant by that. Maybe he was telling me the truth, maybe not, but that's what he told me when I asked him about children's sacrifice. Nathan, it takes time when you're starting magic. It takes time to feel the energies. Sometimes you're too grounded to feel the energies, and you have to loosen up. I know that sounds strange, but loosen up by try to be more aware of your senses. That also helps. Shrieks, everybody's a child eater. Moloch, Lilith, every woman in the occult is a child eater. Baba Yaga, my God. Everybody. It's like give women any strength in the past and they're all child eaters. That's what I've noticed. Lilith, Moloch, everybody's a child eater. I will check out the Gordon Winterfield Demons of Magic. I'm interested in that. Yes, Diane, I did. Thank you. I will check it out. I do think he was, because it makes more sense. First of all, Baal was a thunder god. Second of all, before the temple of, from what I've researched, before the temple of Solomon was built, or the great temple of Solomon, the Jewish people were neighbors with the Canaanite tribes, and the Canaanites believed in Baal, El, Astarte, and they believed kind of in the same gods. So I'm not surprised. But I do like working with Baal. The main reason why I work with Baal is because there is an idea that Baal is actually, the thunder god Baal is actually Baal, demonized. When I talked to Baal and I asked him, were you Baal? Are you aware there is a thunder god called Baal? He says, yes, I am aware, and that was I. So I do think these energies are aware of one another. Oh, thank you for being here, John Doe. Also, I have a question to all those who watch the channel and support the channel. I appreciate it. I have a question as people who are watching. It's hard for me to separate. Now, I am thinking, what else can I add to the channel? I mean, musically or anything to make it a little bit more entertaining. I watch a lot. I have watched other occult, channels. A lot of them are not music. A lot of them not anything. And to be honest with you, I can't sit there. I get freaking bored. So I look at it that it has to be entertaining, also with information that could, magicians use. So, any ideas? I also was thinking maybe I should start reviewing occult movies, but I'm not sure. Well, Rick's little help. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that watches. Well, I could do meditations and all this stuff. I've been thinking of doing some sort of cliponic guided meditations, but I will probably put that on the Patreon because that's going to take work to go to do. I just want to do it also for a wider audience, maybe occult movies, people are interested in movies. I'm also a musician, I also. Mm-hmm. I've been thinking of a powerful magician who's a demonologist. Not a that I might be interviewing. I just have to figure out how I'm going to do the interview. Well, I've been thinking I might do a little video about Chort. Does everybody know who Chort is? Chort. It's the Slavic equivalent of devil. Yes, I am in the Dragon Rouge. I did become a member after I actually read the Cliponic, the Thomas Carlson's book. Excuse me. You could just become a member. You don't have to do the work in it. I am so concentrated on doing my own work and my own methods is that I've been working more with my own methods and figuring out how I'm going to translate that in videos or a book. Don't know yet. With the Dragon Rouge, I enjoy it only because it's very independent. There is no rules. But everything's a hierarchy. You go sphere to sphere. Very Golden Dawn based in that matter. Other than that, no. When I was in the Thelemic group, there were just too many limitations, and the group I was in, I was not happy with. So I left. I also tried to join the OTO in New York. I was not happy with it, and I left. I didn't join. I just went and yeah, this is not for me. Hold on, Detracted. Let me go back. Detracted with what I'm seeing is low entity, low. I just gotta look up. Mm. Detracted, you have to be careful with low level entities, or if you are asking. The thing, I talk about dark matter a lot, and what I'm talking about is thought forms and egregores. Sometimes you might call a spirit, and it's not, you're calling Lilith, but it's not Lilith that's coming. It's some sort of egregore, some sort of thought form. And that is where it becomes dangerous. You have to learn how to trust your senses to know what the difference is between an egregore, a thought form, and the true energy is. There's a lot of low level entities that are walking in the astral, and you have to be careful of that. What you have to do, what my method is, unless I figure out another method, but this works for me, is that if let's say you call a spirit, and I speak about this in my other videos. You call a spirit comes, and you try to delete the spirit from your mind. If it goes away, it's not that spirit. If it still is there, it's the spirit that belongs in the astral realm, and it's not an egregore or a thought form of any kind. They come in dreams too. I think I took Benadryl once, and I think it made my teeth shake. Nope, never dealt with the lizards. Do I believe there's lizards? I've never seen them. I'm not really um, good at um, doing dream work. I've never was really connected to that. Oh, low level entities are always going to be there. They're the residue of the clip off. They're the residue. They're it made me think, are they residue of things that are in the clip off? I also thought, can they be um, guarding it from people who should know anything about the clip off to scare them off? Um, when I went to Gamiel, I always call it Gigmael, it was Gamiel. Anyway, the second sphere in the clip off. Um, I always saw these little entities. To me, it looked like a desert planet. Okay, like very desert-like, red sky, two moons, and these yellow entities that looked like they had horns and pitchforks running around. And I know that sounds silly, but that's how they looked to me. And that was the lower entities in that sphere. Thomas Carlson's book. Just look up Thomas Carlson. There's a book called Clip Off Goetia. Let me look. That is the book what I recommend. Kabbalah, Clip Off, and Goetic Magic by Thomas Carlson. I really recommend that book. That's one of my favorite books on the subject. Has a lot to do with everything being grounded. It's not because I have another book on the clip off. All it says is evil, 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 and Christianity's good, and I just put the book down because that's not a grounded way of thinking of anything. I'm all open to all ideas, but I gotta look at this Demons of Magic. Mm. Anyway, I'm saving the Demons of Magic by Gordon Winterfield. Well, the cover's cool. I will look at it. I will probably get it on Kindle. Hey, there's always new things to learn about the clip off. Look, there's so much study about the tree of life and about what it is, but the clip off is still mysterious. There's not a lot of info about it. Interesting. When I first had my unsuccessful attempts. Well, yeah, I wouldn't really consider it clip off work, but I consider it pretty damn close. I had the Book of Black Magic by A.E. Waite, and I tried to call a spirit, not knowing what the hell I was doing. I was super young. I think it was Lucifer Rofocale, and I had no idea, and I thought that was actually Lucifer, which it seems that it isn't from my research later on. And nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. I was sitting there thinking to myself, well, nothing's happening. What the hell am I doing this for? So I opened the ritual, I closed the ritual, but I probably didn't do it correctly. And at that time, I had somebody living with me, I think a roommate. Or was it my girlfriend? Anyway, so she walks in and she tells me, "Oh my God, there's prints all over the freaking floor. What the heck's going on?" I walk in and there's footprints on the floor. So I don't know if somebody brung them in or was from the ritual, and I wouldn't be surprised if something materialized. Um, but I still wouldn't consider that successful because I didn't see, feel, or hear anything. You know, it was actually wasn't really smart of me. I had a problem. It's better to develop your senses first before doing any work like this, because that way you are aware of what's going on. Hope that answered the question. I think people are afraid. There's a lot of people who I argued with when it comes to Solomonic magic about putting them in the circle and doing this. And I did that. I did Solomonic work with Goetia. I did it before because I was afraid. I was frightened. And since I was doing Golden Dawn work, that was the only way you would do it. So, did the angels, did everything, put them in the circle, and then I see the spirit in my mind's eye. I never used any type of attack on them. Now I wouldn't do that, but before, hey, I was learning. So if anybody's learning, my girlfriend was really frightened of me. She's like, "Oh my God, you're doing some rituals. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're the devil." And what are you gonna do? I was also just learning about magic, and I really couldn't. Everybody goes through it. Practice astral projection streaks. Psychic senses everything with astral projection. I'm serious. That's where you start developing everything. For me, anyway. Nathan, my first Goetic magic, I think that was it. That was still considered Goetia in a way. I just feel that, when you look back at yourself and think, man, because I went into the store in New York. There was a magic store. It's not called Enchantments, and I don't go in there anymore. It was before Enchantments. There was a magic store. My God, I forgot its name. I remember looking for a Goetic book, and the person points at me, says, "Do not get that. Have you done magic before?" I was, "No, not like this." Do not do that. Go get, Steve Savedow book. Um, there was a lot of Golden Dawn stuff in the Savedow book. But yeah, that was interesting. Hold on, I gotta like read up on what everybody's writing because I just, um, yes, there's always some sort of transformation that happens after some sort of invocation or evocation when it comes to ritual. There's always some sort of temporary transformation. Shriek, I've been thinking about doing that for beginners, but that will probably be on Patreon if I decide to do that. It will take a lot of work. I've had a few gratifying attempts by calling King Paimon, set up a nice altar for him with corresponding colors and eyes. That's beautiful, Jin. That's beautiful. I love hearing that. That's nice. Hail King Paimon. King Paimon's awesome. I'm so willing. Shrieks, not all methods work for everyone. You got to find a method that works for you, or you just keep trying and eventually it'll pop in. I've read so many books in astral projection, and nothing helped in certain places. Maybe I didn't put enough time in it when I was reading it. I was also very young. I was like 13. Yes, you can astral project while lucid dreaming. I've done that many times. I've lucid dreamed and I'm like, I'm going to astral project. And I go for it and I'm off. I read The Kabbalion. I actually like it. I read it a long time ago. Well, thank you so much, Trix. I appreciate it. Well, when you want to meet gods in the astral, you kind of go to them. You astral project or you partially project, and then you get your mind set, and then you go and you appear in their sphere and talk to them. Like I'm speaking to you guys here, but a lot more preparation. Well, this also takes some preparation. You got to put the camera, you got to go use OBS. Astroth is the Astroth I worked with. Grimory, no. Astroth was trying to. Okay, when I contacted Astroth, this is the thing you guys have to be aware of when working with peeps, gals, guys. Let me just say it that way. Um, you need to be aware of reading too much about the spirit, because if you read too much about the spirit, what's going to happen is that it's going to influence on how the spirit appears. I read so much about Astroth, about her poisonous breath, is when I contacted Astroth, all I saw was green mist and black snakes. And when I saw that, it just she appeared to me as a shadow with red eyes, and very vivid in my mind, super vivid, and I knew that it was her. And you don't read too much into it, because sometimes that could influence how the spirit appears. All this talk about Gordon Winterfield book. Now I'm interested. Strix, that sounds really cool. I tore out of my body. Yeah. That's one thing I wondered. A lot of people who do demonolatry don't work with angels whatsoever, and that's fine. It just makes me wonder why some people who work with demons are so against angels, thinking probably there's some sort of good versus bad, I'm guessing. Because angels could rip a human apart too, you know. They're not. People get this idea that angels are all nice. Be honest with you, the angel who told me about using the Goetia in the astral realm was Michael. When I was trying to build ritual work for Goetia, he told me, "What are you wasting your time for when you could do it all here in your mind?" So I can't knock angels for that. I could believe that because at certain times before I would use Lilith to go meet a new spirit. Before I would use an angel to meet a new goetic spirit. Works the same. Just feel that with Lilith, it's a little bit more, less headache. I've never worked with Metatron. I could see that. I could see them being two sides of the coin. What's actually funny, it wasn't really a book that turned the corner for me. It was the Kayanite. I went into a crystal shop looking for a crystal, and somebody recommended take a Kayanite stone and put it on your third eye, and off you go. And it worked. But books did not do it for me, no. Can Merlin be contacted? If he existed, probably. But wouldn't that mean necromancy if he actually lived? They're less welcoming than goetic spirits, detracted because I feel that angels could be a bit more snobby. Yep, pompous. The thing is, look at what happened to John D. Look at what happened. They did everything the angel said, and it also makes me wonder. They lost everything, and it makes me also wonder. Did they even contact the angel? Was that even an angel, or could have been something else? Telling them, "Yeah, I'm an angel. Yeah, go do this." Demons do enjoy humans more. I mean, I've noticed that. Yeah, I know. That made me think about they swap wives. Now, if an angel came to me and asked, "Hey, listen, I need you to swap your girlfriend," I'd say, "Hey, and no, 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 I don't know what you are. I'm not doing that." So, unless there's a consent going on, but No, it's interesting that Michael actually told me how to contact goetic spirits in the astral realm. And that's how the method started coming about. It sucks, Ricardo. It does. People get this crazy idea that angels are all, nice. It is what it is. You got to look out for your own path. When you're doing work, even though you are talking to a spirit and dealing with other spirits, you got to make sure that you have to look out for number one, which is yourself down your own path, because you do not know what they're going to tell you and if it's going to be for your own benefit. Just because it says in a book that they're good to you doesn't mean that they really are. You just have to be careful. Doesn't matter if it's angels or demons or any other entity or form. I don't know too much about Metatron as being closest to Yahweh or God. I mean, look at the cherubim. You look at pictures of the cherubim, they look terrifying. They don't look like, beautiful angels. They look like freaking monsters. Oh, that's cool. I never heard of a book like that. Man, there's so many books out there. Can't read them all. Hmm. I've noticed a lot of people talk about Metatron who are in the New Age community. A lot of them are about angels and Metatron. Here in New York, I've noticed that. And also a lot of Egyptian gods from Horus to Ra. But when you mention Seth or you mention Kansu or you mention something in that matter, it's all bad. So I don't know, to each their own. I like to look at both pieces, but I am attracted more to the dark. I think I ran out of seltzer. The New Age community puts me off too, but it's look, it's the occult with the New Age community too. It's just a different name. They just freaking changed the whole freaking thing. I mean, think about it when different systems come out. It's the occult. It's just I don't like the way they look at it, but that's just it's just like there's no study. The occult, the stuff that I hear about here is love and light, and they disregard the shadow and disregard anything that has to do with the other half of being a human. And everything is love and life. I love you, I hug you, and I'm just not into that. Uh, I think a person should try to work with both things to try to balance everything out. Jumping into the snake pit with Tiamat sounds great. I really don't know how to induce nightmares. That's interesting. I've never tried to induce. How do you induce a nightmare? I'm going to have a nightmare and then go to sleep. Um, I really don't have nightmares. I love Seth. Seth is great. Um, excuse me. When I met Seth, to me, he never speaks. To me, he's just a bodyguard. Like, I would stand and look at him and speak. He doesn't talk to me. He just stands there and he feels like a calming presence to me. But I guess that's just how to me, or maybe he just doesn't want to talk to me. Do I have a Cash app? I don't know. I mean, I know this thing has a super chat, and I don't know. I'll put a Patreon. I don't know if I have a Cash app now. What is a Cash app? Does it link to YouTube or something? I'm just curious. I appreciate it though. Yes, YouTube it seems takes 30% of super chat donations and all this stuff. I will look into the Cash app. Thank you for letting me know because I don't know. I know they take 30%, and I don't really know much about. I'm still like I'm growing with YouTube little by little, and I'm trying to learn it more and more. And I'm honest. I'm going and learning as I can to try to grow the channel, and I appreciate all the help everybody has for the channel and find entertaining. And I hope that I am not boring the crap out of you. Hi Don, how you doing? That is Hecate. I have a statue of Kali, but it's freaking too heavy. No, but I could bring it. It's upstairs, and I have an altar dedicated to her. But I leave a lot of statues on my bookcase over there, and that is Hecate. Yeah, had no idea. I will look into Cash App. Well, I appreciate it. That would be so kind of you. That will help. Anything that goes into the channel, I will try to make the content better. Cameras, stuff, anything that goes into the channel is good. Everything that gets donated or supported is going to go back into the channel. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to try to make it better and better. I want to make the production better. I want to make everything so it looks more professional. The thing is this: I want a channel that's entertaining and good production value. I don't want people to freaking get bored and the hell I can't see anything, I can't hear anything, you know. Jen, I actually, when I worked with Hecate, I actually went to her to learn about tarot readings. Um, I've never done any prayers to her. The only prayers that I actually done or chants was when I was actually working with Ganesh at one point because I was just curious. And I felt that Ganesh would be a very happy deity to work with, which was funny because to me he came like a big elephant dancing with women dancing around him in some sort of Indian, you know, harem or something. Yes, I can teach tarot. I could do a little bit of that, but I'll probably put that also on Patreon. Once I do a Patreon, I'm still trying to figure out what would be, fair and what's the best way to do it. I just see so many people put Patreons, but they're offering stuff. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm pretty good with social media, but also I'm trying to grow my Instagram page too. So if you guys want to follow, oh, thank you, Dion. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the support. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I also post stuff on Instagram. I'm trying to grow that. And yeah. Oh, thank you, Don. I appreciate it. I wanted to do something creative with magic in the bathtub because, look, when you go to all these magic channels on YouTube, it's freaking gloomy. Look, I like dark magic and everything, but it gets so freaking gloomy. Oh, I'm in a gothic setting. Oh, it's dark. Oh, the demons. It has to be a little bit fun. Magic should be fun, so it should entertain also. Um, I love the gloomy stuff. Don't get me wrong. I write gothic music for God's sakes. Thank you, Jin. I'm still trying to grow it. I don't know what I'm getting better at YouTube, but it takes a while. I mean, it took me a while to even get up to 2,000 something subs. It takes a freaking long while. YouTube algorithm is really weird. I'm still trying to understand analytics. It's a lot to learn. Yeah, it's the same name, Spectre Ball. Yeah, it's everything's the same. I go everywhere. You look for Spectre Ball from here to Twitter, and even though I don't use Twitter much at all, um, I actually went on the TikTok platform, and I'm like, everybody's lip singing to each other. I'm like, well, I'm gone from that. Oh, Jin, that's awesome. Make sure that you post a link. I'm curious to hear your music. Yes, I game, which is funny. I have a stream of Spectre Ball, and all I game is EverQuest. it, so, um, no, I am not going on TikTok. No. I looked at it. It's good for my analog voice platform. I don't know if you guys know, I do have another channel called Analog Voice. It's not the occult. It has to do with me teaching people how to sing because I am a vocal coach too. So I teach people who are interested in learning how to sing, any type of music. And it's called Analog Voice, which is another channel I'm trying to grow. But that has to do with music and singing because I'm good at that teaching. But it's not. It has nothing to do with the occult, so it's a little bit might bore you guys. Yeah, that is the link to the other channel. I don't really post much videos. I just use it as a platform to show that it's anybody could learn how to sing. I really strongly believe in that. Witch Talk. That would be cool if they actually had a program called Witch Talk instead of TikTok. Um, Rouse, the thing is, with all these platforms, it's a learning process with the algorithm. You can't just go on. You have to learn how it works. I mean, YouTube, I kind of have my head around it a little bit. Yeah, Witch Talk is TikTok is a little crazy. But I like Witch Talk. I like the name. The name is cool. That's interesting. The thing is this, variety videos are awesome. Don't get me wrong. That's why I was thinking, but I want everything kind of connected. You got the occult. My music's very inspired by gothic, so that still works in the same thing. That's why I was thinking maybe I should do some occult movie reviews or horror movie reviews. It still goes into the same place. I don't want it to go from and gear because I use gear in the studio. I don't want it to go from a cult to walking on sunshine. It's too different. Summon a demon in less than a minute. Yeah, that would be nice if it was something that fast. It takes time, I understood, to grow the channel. I was thinking of book reviews. I was thinking of book reviews. I've been doing less videos because I'm still trying to, finish my running out song, which is, oh, we paused there for a minute. I'm still trying to finish the running out, and also I'm working on another song called Demonize. So, everything in the occult, frame. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. I don't think it should be scary. People like to put the scare into the demon and into this, and no. Yeah, demonize. That's probably what the song is going to be called. It might change though, but that's right now the name. The other one is Running Out, which I'm very fond of. I'm very happy that I wrote the song. I'm just waiting for it to be mastered, and then I will release it on Bandcamp. Is my family okay with my spiritual practices? That's a very interesting. My mother thinks I'm gonna go burn in hell. She's like, "Oh, I don't like what you're doing. This devil work." I'm like, "Ma, it's okay. It's fine." No, it's not okay. How about Jesus? My mom is Slavic Christian. She's Ukrainian, and I come from Slavic blood, and she has, the Orthodox Catholic. She's not religious at all, but she just thinks because I do all this stuff. She's like, I don't believe in that stuff. I'm like, fine. My dad doesn't really care. He doesn't at all. No, Shreks, I don't have anything on Patreon whatsoever because I'm still trying to figure out how to do it. I have to do the graphics for it and doing this. I'm just trying to find time. Yeah, thank you, Astral. Astral. I hope I'm saying that correctly because I suck at freaking names. Astravel. Okay. um, I will be posting soon as I finish it because I haven't been working. Ancient Serpents was my full. My new EP is going to be song by song. So I'm going to be releasing Running Out, and then I'm going to be releasing more onto that EP. Don't know if it's going to be 4 songs or 6 songs for the new EP, and it will be just called Spektor Baal, and that's it. Ricardo, that's fine. Everybody, see, the thing is this: I live in New York, so it doesn't really, nobody really cares here. You do a cult, you don't do a cult, nobody cares about nothing. My best friend in Ohio says you freaking say you're in the cult and you'll have freaking crosses burning on your house, on your lawn. So it really depends where the hell you live. You have to be careful. No, I have not seen Damien Echo's channel, or maybe I have. Let me look. I think maybe I subscribed to him. There was one person that I actually thought was interesting that I enjoyed. Let me see. I'm just checking. Yes, I am subscribed to him. Yeah, I actually like the guy. He's very, I mean, there's a lot of Golden Dawn that he talks about, but I actually enjoyed listening to him. I only watched maybe 1 or 2 videos, but after that, I subscribed to his channel. Well, in New York, people in New York really don't. I mean, you're not going to run around in New York saying, "I like the occult. I'm an occultist," you know. But there's store called Enchantments. I really don't go in there, but it really gets packed. There's a lot of people that, especially tourists, that like to come in. There's a lot of. It feels very magical in there, though. I don't know. I never, you know, I saw that in the occult store, but I wouldn't be surprised. Nathan, maybe mentoring, maybe. Don't know. I want to start small. I want to know what the heck's going on. I want it to be fair too. I checked out Shrieks. I did check out his Patreon. I checked out what he charges for. I'm looking at other people's Patreon magicians and other people's Patreon to give me an idea of what I actually want to offer for the Patreon and what to do and how to support the channel. No, I have not heard of Maggie Moon. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there's a dime a dozen of cult channels, on YouTube. The Left Hand Path Witch. I will check out her channel. See if I like it. Don't know. I like her cowboy hat. That's cool. Or is that a witch hat? Wasn't sure. I will, Shrex, I will make it fair. I will make it fair. But man, there's so many occult channels. The thing is also some magicians that I spoken to who I talk to once in a while, and I really I ask them, did you see this? Did you see that? Sometimes a lot of magicians don't even want to talk about their certain experiences, which is absolutely fine with me. I'm a person that likes to hear other people's experiences and then share. Oh, excuse me again. No, not now. I'm still streaming. An hour ago. Do you know how to flip it? Because I'm busy. That's the one I hit last time. Hold on. Excuse me, guys, for just 1 second. The light went out upstairs again for some reason. I don't know what the hell's going on. Man, this is the most interrupted stream I've ever freaking had. Anyway, it seems somebody's their refrigerator turned off. They freaking turned on the microwave and it shut off the whole thing, and everything down here is, I have Electric breakers. How did the conversation go into beheadings? Do I believe, am I from a school that they're the same tree? Yeah, I do. I do believe they're on the same tree, in a way. Hold on. Heidi, say hello. Say hello. Stop mocking. Okay, this is Heidi. Say hello to everybody in YouTube land. Ay. That's Heidi. Oh, yeah, she's a spirit. Every time I do magic, she runs her out of the room. Hail, Heidi. Yeah, it's fine. I love black cats only because people don't adopt them and are very frightened of them, and they get less adopted, and that's the reason why I adopted Heidi from a pound. Heidi, don't go there. Ay, ay, ay. Cat's always exploring everything. Yes, I feel cats have some senses we do not have. Nope. I do feel that. Yeah, appliance cords. It's crazy. They freaking shut everything off. Everything's here. I have to run to the, to turn it on. I'm like, I'm streaming. Do you understand that? And she's like, well, my refrigerator's not working. Like, okay. Yeah, I love all animals. Well, birds. My neighbor has a bird and drives me nuts. Freaking like a rooster in the morning. I don't know. There's an idea that time actually does not exist. It does exist, but does it? It probably exists differently when it comes to dimensions and the way spirits experience things. Sometimes I might not contact the spirit for months to years, and then I say, "Hey, how you doing?" Because I just wanted to say hello. They're like, "Oh, hey," and I'm like, "I'm sorry I haven't contacted you in a long time." They're like, "No, it's okay. It hasn't been that long," and I'm like, "It's been like 4 months," and to me, that's a while. So I think spirits have a different way of. Sorry, I looked back because I saw Heidi on the carpet. um, Spirits have a different than we. I have not studied enough about time, and so I'm gonna tell you what first comes to my mind. If I had a little bit more knowledge about it, I would. Um, well, as my channel grows, Shrek, I will stream more. It's just I have to, work, do this, teach vocals, you know. As it grows more and I'll have more time to do it, then I will. I do it when I have time. I'm also writing a new EP, so I might stream a bit here, and then if Patreon works, I'm going to stream there too. No, I have not read Taylor's books on time magic. I didn't even know that there's so much things about magic. I mean, if you look at Amazon, there's so many magic books. It's a never-ending story. Shrek, the thing with things get a little rocky in life, I totally understand. I mean, we all go through ups and downs. I know I have, and I still sometimes am going through ups and downs. Magic helps to focus your will on trying to get things so you have a little bit more power over the situation instead of feeling a little bit helpless. Um, it it's a learning process, and I know I have a lot to learn when it comes to that. Um, so I would say that meditation helps. Doing spells that work with your focus. That's what I could say about that right now. What I'll tell you in about a month from a year from now, I don't know what I'm going to think, but that's what I think now. And that constantly changes the more you learn. Jen, I wish I could get back certain years, but that, or decisions that I made, but you know what? There's no point. You learn what you learned, and then you go forward from there. Shreks, I do the middle pillar constantly. Sometimes I change the names from Ichaye and all the God names of Yahweh's. I mean, all the God names. I might change them to Egyptian names, to Greek names. I love the middle pillar. It's one of my favorite rituals, and I still use it, even though I'm not fully left-hand path. I would say I'm more left-hand path, but I do like using some right-hand path magic because it just works really well. When it comes to the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, I will do it, but I will sometimes remove the angelic names just because I want to make sure that whatever I'm banishing, I don't feel like I want to invite a demon or an entity that I'm talking to and then banish him. Glamour magic. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody comes along and says, "Hey, I created a new form of magic called glamour magic. Watch the wrinkles go." There's so many different broken parts from Christianity to Judaism to different religions. I mean, the same shit with occultism. Oh, I'll create my own system. Oh, I'll create my own system. Oh, I'll create my own system. Oh, glamour magic. Yeah, that they should put that on Sabrina and make it like a commercial. Actually, I like Sabrina the Witch because it had the Baphomet in it. I'm a big fan of the Baphomet. And they made it dark. I enjoyed that actually. Shrek, nope, I have not. No, I actually like Sabrina. I didn't watch the third season, but I watched the first season and the second one, and I actually liked it. I liked that it was dark. I liked that it was the Baphomet. I enjoyed the gothic nature of it. There is glamour magic. My God, what a name! Glamour magic. It makes me wonder. You have all these terms. We have so many different types of magicians. You have Satanists. You have Luciferianism. You got demonolatry. You got so many different types of names. A lot of them use the same magic too, which is interesting. I'm just it reminds me of how so many religions break and like we just talked about this system, that system, this system, this system. It's all a learning process, but in the end, it's your system, your path, your way, and yeah, that's kind of it. Astravel, you can't know everything. There's a lot of things that I hear about that, oh, okay, that's new. I didn't know that. And it's okay. It's okay to say that you don't know. Don't be a magician that says, I know everything. That doesn't look good. There's constant learning when it comes to this. There's always learning when it comes to this. I remember getting into an argument with one ritual that was done in the Thelema group that I was in. He's saying, "Well, this angel has these type of wings." I said, "Well, no, this angel has this type of wings in this system." No, it's only these type of wings. That's it. It can't have any other. Why can't it have any other wings? It's a different system. Do I believe in immortality? Well, I hope that I believe that when we die, that we move on to something different, and our spirit or soul or whatever the heck you want to call it. They say that spirit and soul are two different things, but I didn't do enough research for that. That our spirit lives on. I would like to believe that the things that we are doing now magically are actually making us evolve so we could move on in a better state that we started. And that we go to places that we actually believe we might go. Shrake, as a child, I thought reality, well, what is this material crap and why am I here? That's what I thought as a kid. Well, there might not be certain spring chickens, but I could believe that when you are building energy and actually trying to evolve or move forward with your path, that you will have some sort of attraction or charisma that happens. It might not come in a form of the flesh or the body, but it will come in an energetic feeling that everybody else will start to be attracted to you. That I do believe. Estravel, knowledge is great. The best thing you could do with knowledge is just take it in and, you know, let it fester for a while. That's what I try to do. If I'm learning something new, I just want it to fester a bit and see what I think about it later once, hangs out a bit in my mind. Don, there's a lot of tricky things with heaven and hell. The thing that makes me wonder, though, is that when you see all these American evangelists say, well, we're going to go to heaven and I'm like, I don't want to go to heaven with you. There is a heaven. I don't want you to be there because I don't like you. And I don't mean I don't like the person. I just like the whole thing. So it's just it's a joke. But there's some people. There's always going to be crazies in certain religions. When it comes to heaven and hell, I try not to think of it. I think if it does exist in some way, I do think that the clip off is a way of its own shadow hell, to be honest with you. I mean, demons, are in that space, and it's very peaceful to me. So I don't look at it as a fiery pit. And also, I do not think that the Torah, I mean, which is the Bible, talks about hell as a fiery pit. It's kind of like a pit that's located somewhere in Israel, from what I've read. But I might not be sure about that, so I might be wrong. Oh, okay. Sheol. That's it, Benjamin. You're right on it. It's the guard outside Jerusalem. That's what I've read. So yeah, I really think that's what hell. When I think they're referring to hell, I think they're referring to Hades. So I'm fine with Hades. I've been in Hades, talked to Hades. It's fine with me. It's peaceful to me. I take the New Testament since I'm half Jewish. I kind of like to take the Old Testament more for some reason. I guess that's something maybe I'm used to. I've never grew up with the idea of you do this, you'll burn in hell, and I could understand how that could really affect, uh, people about that. Interesting. Hoppy, I might be pronouncing it wrong. Hopi medicine man. Hopi. I need to look that up. Yeah, it's every. That's why it's so attractive. Detracted. That's why it's so attractive because you could kill, you could murder, you could do this, you could do that, and yet Jesus will forgive you. So it's kind of. Oh, thanks, because Hopi. Um, that's why it's so attractive. Yeah, Christianity. Also, Christianity was also, I mean, had to bring a lot of kingdoms together. They wanted to take over lands. They wanted to get power. So that's what they used to bring kingdoms together. I don't have anything against Jesus if he lived. I don't have anything against it. I do think that since we did not live in that time, we do not know the whole situation that happened. If he existed, if he did not. I also have a book about Moses, which I'm also fascinated by, and there were two different types of Moses. I didn't read the whole book, but it says that there wasn't only one Moses. There was like two or three, which is interesting. About Jesus, I've did spiritual work with that energy just out of curiosity. And I have to say that after doing ritual work with that, just like I would do any goetic work, I felt very calming and a warmness in my chest, which felt good. So I do believe that contact the spirit first. It doesn't matter if it's Jesus from Zeus to Asmodee, and see how you react to it and how you feel about it. Don't listen unless you have your own experiences. I have not worked with Enoch. I have not worked about Watchers. Now let me try to get this straight. Let me try to think. Hold on, the Watchers. I hope I'm not mixing up the spirits. Hold on. Da, 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 da. Nephilim. Hold on, guys. I'm looking for something. I gotta. I'm just trying to figure out the Watchers. I don't. The Watchers and the Nephilim. Why am I thinking about this now? Is because when I was at in the clip off, I've seen fallen angels. Um, in a way, and I don't know if they were Watchers or Nephilim. That's why I'm trying to figure out what they were. They were very transparent. they were very, like, I would not want to talk to these spirits. They seemed very empty and soulless, and they just guarded the clip off. You would feel a feeling of dread when you would get next to them. I felt a feeling of dread. And it looked like they were in every sphere. They had these angels in a row. Um, so I'm trying to figure out were they fallen, were they watchers, or were they the Nephilim? I am not sure. I didn't ask. But I knew they were guarding the clip off. They were guarding the spheres. Maybe that's interesting. Anunnaki. I gotta research a little more, and then I'll probably know what they were. I think Native American rituals are also extremely overlooked. I was in a Native American sauna. I think it was a field trip in Los Angeles, and it wasn't a sauna. It was like a tent, and I forgot what it was called. I mean, if somebody remembers, please look it up. I mean, please comment it. We were all snuggled together in a tent. It was hot as hell with hot rocks. Sweat lodge, that's it. I'm saying sauna. Anyway, it was so freaking hot in there, I started seeing owls. At 13 years old or 12, I was like, I'm seeing owls. They're like, good, good. And I'm probably I was barely freaking able to freaking stand. But that was an experience. I wouldn't mind doing that again, actually. I'm sure it detoxed my body real good. Yeah, I mean, owls is funny. I mean, owls is Lilith for me. And knowledge, but that was an interesting experience. Shreks, if you feel that Asmodeus is contacting you and he's always popping in your head, you might as well say hello. I remember I was trying to think of a tarot deck that I actually wanted to create. And I'm still, I study the tarot, but I need to study it more. Anyway, so Asmodeus started popping into my head saying, I want my own card. And I'm like, I am not even thinking of making a deck. It just passed my mind, and all of a sudden I have not met you, and now you want your own card? Also, you need to learn how to say no to spirits. Remember, you're number one. You are the one that you have to watch over. The only person that you would trust is a spirit that you've worked with very long, or like I trust my Godhead, I trust my holy guardian angel, and I trust Charlie, which is my version of the Baphomet. It's a miniature Godhead, but that's something for another story. That is probably going to be a system that I'm going to be building. I do not believe that the Baphomet is a deity. I think it is some sort of miniature Godhead. That it's a miniature. You could think of both pieces of the Tree of Life and the clip-off in one. You could say like a familiar, like a useful, friendly thing, but you have to like build it. But I have to create that system. That's a system that I'm working on. But I don't think the Baphomet is a god. I think he's everything. Yes, it is a symbol detracted. It's not. Some people think it's a god of some sort. It isn't. It's a whole of everything. To me, yes, Benjamin, it is a version of a minor Yahweh. I think it's some sort of version of that. I've had experience with it in a way that was very surprising, that came to me in work, and I was hopping from the Tree of Life to the clip-off putting this together. But this happened very drastically after a couple of months. So I was thinking of creating a system like that so everyone might have something like that. But I have to put it together because it happens so fast that I wonder how I'm going to have to, anyway, I have to figure it out. But it's good to have. It's like a miniature godhead of your holy guardian angel mixed with the clip off. I know it's something very, very special. I have to figure that out because it happened to me and I have to recreate it. Detracted. The thing with Yahweh is it's very interesting. If I come out and I say, I am doing this for God, that's my understanding of how God is and who am I doing it for. But maybe I'm also not all there. It's very tricky with that. What's my favorite food? Oh my God, potato chips. That's bad. I should stop eating potato chips. Even though I'm working at an organic store now, I'm buying healthy potato chips. It's still potato chips. I'm obsessed with potato chips. I don't know why. Maybe I was a potato in a previous life. No, I don't believe that. But anyway. But yes, a lot of Yahweh's name or perception of Yahweh has ruined many lives, especially Jesus too. You know, it's funny. You see all this here about Jesus, but you don't hear Moses ruining anybody's life. A potato bug. Interesting. Maybe. I do believe in reincarnation. I do believe certain things that I was in the past lives. Um, and do I think that we move on as humans and other, when we die? I don't know. I would like to think so, but I do hopefully believe that as magicians and as people following our path, we get to a certain level where we can move on and not come back to this life unless we want to. I think we might have a choice. But it's very hard when it comes to this because there's no fact. It's not based in fact. It's based in belief and faith. I thought my cat was on the stairs. Distracted, you might be right. It doesn't matter if it's a new life or an old life. I know I've been here many times. I also believe I might have been other magicians. Do not know for sure. I know that I experienced with Lamastu, and she's very good at telling who you were at a past life, which is Pazuzu's consort. Maybe we were tricked in the human experience. The human experience is an experience, all right. All you do is you try to pay the bills, you try to eat, run your body, and then after you die, they take your taxes. It's a wonderful experience in some ways. Yeah, I think dreams are relevant to reincarnation. I said almost says carnation. I don't know if I always wonder, do we choose our parents at birth? If we do, or, hey, there's a body for you over there. Let's go. I wondered that. Here's a good question for everybody. Not a question, but think about it. What happens if we're already dead? This is death. And then when we actually move on, that's when life begins. I actually even had a thought like that, which is nuts, or a form of death. Think about it. I mean, there's so much suffering. We're working. We're this. We're that. Ugh. Yeah, the elite have a lot of power. There are people up there that do have a lot of power and a lot of money. You know, and it is known that people like to keep society stupid. I mean, there is a lot of people who are, should probably, learn a little bit more. Energy can't be destroyed. No, it changes. I don't know if all of them understand as esoteric knowledge, but I could be guessing. I could believe that. I could believe that they have access to spirits. But doesn't anybody? But I don't think everybody will want that. I don't, like I said before, I don't think magic is for everybody. When I started learning about magic, I was like, wow, this is great. Okay, you have something that you're enjoying. Okay, it's causing dopamine and serotonin to hit your brain. You want to share that with everybody because you feel good about something. That's why a lot of people who believe in Jesus or anything might want to share the things that they feel good about, but don't realize that, that might not be for the other person. Same thing with magic. When I freaking started doing magic, I thought everybody should do magic. I think everybody should have some source, thought about magic. Then I realized, yeah, that's not for them. They're not interested in it, and it's only for me and my path, and for those who are actually want to pursue it. Shrek, I think our minds cannot comprehend a lot. There's a lot of things that form when it comes to spirits that we might not be seeing their true energy totally is because our brain will not comprehend it. So it creates forms that our brain can comprehend and can understand in the most simplest terms. And what also is surprising is that why humans don't understand some humans don't understand that we're all animals. We're animals too. They're like, "Oh, you're human, you're not an animal." Yes, you are an animal. So that's what I don't sometimes I do not get because humans think they're higher than animals, and humans are the only ones that actually kill for no reason. Animal, there's always has to be some sort of reason when it comes to animals killing other animals for food or something. Um, Now, what do you mean about shadow people? Do you mean shadow images from the astral, or do you literally mean shadow people? I just gotta shadow people. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Gotta turn off the light. Yes, humans are that bad. Humans cannot comprehend in physical existence. There are limitations, that's for sure. Huge limitations. Humans are weird, strange, and crazy. Everybody has their lunacy, you know. I'm here to admit that. Also, I've noticed that what did I just lost train of thought. Hold on. Eh, I lost train of thought. It'll come back. It happens when the brain goes and that's it. Flatline. Yes, higher chakras. That helps. I know I need to work on my chakras. The thing which interesting about higher vibrations, what's funny, especially in the new age community, what I dislike is we need to get to higher vibrations because we don't need to talk to lower entities or everybody that's not working with their chakras, humans are in a lower vibrational state, so we shouldn't talk to them. I've noticed that a lot, which I consider firstly incorrect and wrong, just from a human standpoint. Now, about the fluoride in the water with the pineal gland. Now, I don't know too much about that. I know that that's what they say, that the fluoride but we use fluoride in our mouth too with brushing our teeth. I try to get without any fluoride, but I don't know how much fact could actually back that up. So, I have not noticed any trouble with my pineal gland yet. Excuse me. I probably coughed. That's probably correct. It could be New Age propaganda. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff running around. I mean, it is a form of occultism. That's a good way to look at it. I've learned spirits don't have lower high vibrations. I like looking at it that way. Or just looking at different vibrations. You have this vibration, you have that vibration. It's like music, different vibration, different tunings, you know? I remember when I wanted to get into the Goetia, I got into an argument with two Golden Dawn girls at one point. I was interested in the Golden Dawn. I was asking them. They're like, "Do you know what the Goetia is?" I said, "It's high magic or low magic." I said, "It's low magic." They started laughing. I said, "Why are you laughing at me?" The vibrational state is low. It's closer to the earth. I mean, that's how I looked at it. They were like, "No, that's high magic." So I kind of looked at it. Where would they actually belong if we looked, of where they would be? Humans sometimes do awful things. Does it? That's a good question, Benjamin. Does it feel? Do I feel like I'm walking through syrup? Not really. I feel very floaty. The only times I felt that I was walking through syrup is when fear would take over, when something's unexpected in the astral, and everything would go very, very slow. I would have to stop. I would have to breathe, and then I would have to try to invoke my HGA or my Godhead into me so I could actually take control of the situation. I do suggest everybody who's learning astral to actually try to find their HGA or their Diamond because it's a huge, huge help with having something that like that by your side when your fear takes over or something might take over and you might make the wrong decision. But I do suggest that is very important that everybody should be doing that first. Strix, occult means hidden. But from the dictionary, it's always been like that. But wait, I was enlightened. That was a new age, and when I said the knowledge was occult. Well, the thing with that is that occult does mean hidden. That's what it means in the dictionary. But I would not say that it was wrong when it comes to knowledge either. But in the dictionary, it means hidden. Everything, Chris, everything's 40 days. When you look at everything that has to do with fasting, it's either the 7 day or the 40 day mark for some reason. I've not done enough research of why. Even with the Abramelin ritual that Crawley did, I think something was there about also 40 days, if I remember. A daemon is actually a spirit guide. That's what it is. They say that daemon became demon. Also, that Socrates had his own daemon who told him who advised him what to say and what to do, which I find that fascinating. HGA is Holy Guardian Angel Astral. It's located in any sphere that it wants to show you. I found mine in Kether, which is the 10th, I think, for the first sphere from the Tree of Life. But everybody says it would be Tippereth. And I said, I did not find mine in Tippereth. And they said, well, then you didn't find your HGA. Well, who are you to say it's the HGA's choice of where it wants to show me where it is, not what what you put down. No, I have not had any experience with spirit writing. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to let you go. I'm really sorry, but I need to also get up in the morning. So I appreciate everybody who joined the stream. It was a good conversation, a lot of learning that happened. I appreciate it. I learned about a new book that I need to look up. I will let you guys know if there's any new news. Also, I will let you know if any new music comes out because I will be posting it here. Thank you, Ricardo. I appreciate it. And thanks, Don. I appreciate you being here. And every other 16 people that are watching this. I would like this channel to grow. So if there's anything about sharing, anything would help. Thank you so much, Shrieks. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It means a lot, man. I mean, Shreks. What am I saying? Astravel, thank you so much. Anyway, take care, everybody, and have a good night.